Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some 1961 Milwaukee Braves baseball. It's September 23rd, and we got the Chicago Cubs traveling to Milwaukee to take on the Braves. Let's take a look at the visiting Chicago Cubs lineup. Leading off playing right field is Danny Murphy. Batting second, playing second, Don Zimmer. Batting third, playing shortstop, Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks. Batting fourth, playing center field is George Altman. Batting fifth, playing left field is Billy Williams. Batting sixth, playing third is Ron Santo. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Sammy Taylor. Batting eighth, playing first base is Mo Morehart. And batting ninth, doing the pitching for the Cubbies is Jack Curtis. Take a look at the Milwaukee Braves starting lineup here. Home team starting off, leading off for the Braves is going to be Al Spangler playing center field, batting second. Or we're making changes here. Didn't notice this. Let's bring Frank up. Sorry about that. Frank's going to be batting second. And Torrey's is going to be batting seventh. There we go. Sorry about, excuse me, sorry about that. So batting second, playing second's Frank Boland. Batting third, playing third's Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth, playing right field is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth, playing left field is Frank Thomas. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Joe Torre. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. And bat ninth and doing the pitching for the Milwaukee Braves is Tony Cloninger. Let's get down here to Milwaukee and get this game started. This is Tony's 10th start on the year. He's got a 4.91 ERA. He's 4-1 with no complete games. First batter he'll be facing is Danny Murphy. He's only had one at bat, and he's gotten a home run out of that at bat. And he has 2 RBIs, and I believe that home run, if I remember right, was against these exact Milwaukee Braves. Let's take a look. Now, it doesn't tell you the team, but I'm pretty sure it was the Braves back in September 3rd. A pitch hit home run against the Braves, if I remember right. And here's the pitch to Murphy. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Murphy's out of there for out number 1. We go to Don Zimmer, and Zimmer's batting .212. Hey, Ken. Did you? I haven't been up too long, about an hour and a half. Yeah. Zimmer's batting .212. He's got 7 home runs, 35 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Mac at short. He fires over to first base. That'll be out number 2. And here comes Mr. Banks, Mr. Cubby himself, batting .251 with 23 home runs, 88 RBIs. And that's going to be another ground ball down the short. So quick inning for the Braves. The Cubbies go down in order. We go to the bottom of the first. Cubs nothing. Spangler, Boland, and Matthews due up against Jack Curtis. This is Jack Curtis, 27th start of the year. He's got a 4.28 ERA. He's 14-13. He's got 8 complete games. And the first batter he'll face is Al Spangler. He's batting .321 with no home runs and 11 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls, and he'll trot on down the first. And that brings up Frank Boland. I think Frank's going to do a little hit and run, try to stay out of the double play here. So here's the pitch to Frank Boland, batting .282, 17 home runs, 77 RBIs. And that's going to be a foul ball. Strike, and Spangler's heading down the second. Here's the throw from Taylor. And he's going to be in there with a stolen base. So the 0-1 pitch now with a runner down at second. So that'll avoid the double play. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Not deep enough to get Spangler over to third. But with one out, Spangler's in scoring position for the big boys. Here comes Matthews up, batting .306 with his 35 home runs and 117 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. Now it's up to Mr. Aaron to do something here with 2 outs. Drives Spangler in. He's batting .305, 32 home runs, 113 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field, and that will score out with 2 outs. Nice piece of hitting by Hank. And the Braves take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Joe Adcock now with Aaron down at first and 2 outs. Joe's hitting .273. He's got 35 home runs on the year, 111 RBIs. And that ball is high, that ball is far, that ball is gone. And it's 3-0. All this coming with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Oh, one thing, Ken, I found out this morning. I was looking at the schedule. I forgot both of these teams had a freaking rain out that got the game canceled because they didn't it was tied up. So I still got 100. I had 163 games for the Yankees, 155 games with the Braves. So I still got 14 more games to go instead of 12. I just realized I got 2 more games because, like I say, Yankees played 163. They played an extra game against the Orioles. And I'm not sure who the Braves extra game was against. They play 155, so I still got 14 more games to go. Yeah, noticed that this morning when looking at the schedule. All righty, here's Frank Thomas. Hey, Doug. Here's Frank Thomas up now. He's batting .266, 27 home runs, and 82 RBIs. Base is empty, 2 outs, but the Braves have scored 3 here in the bottom of the first against Curtis. And that's going to be a deep fly ball out the left field, but Billy Williams makes the catch short of the track. And that'll end the inning. Braves score 3, 2 of them on the Adcock home run. We get to the top of the second. We got Altman, Williams, and Santo due up here. And George is batting .324. He's got 28 home runs and 107 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. So they got the leadoff batter board here for the Cubbies. And here comes Billy Williams up now, batting .268, 29 home runs, 79 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field also. And all of a sudden, he gets out to a 2-3 run lead, and he's got the first 2 batters aboard here in the bottom of the second. So first and second, nobody out for Ron Santo. Santo's having a fine year, batting .290, 26 home runs, 96 RBIs. Looking for a double play ball here. And that's going to be a base on balls. And bases are loaded with nobody out. The Braves get a 3-run lead, and Tony's trying to give it all up in 1 inning. Sammy Taylor's up again. They're going to play back for the double play, up by 3. Sammy, catcher's speed, so good chance of getting a double play if it's a ground ball. Batting .230 with 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Mac air mails this into the stands, and that's going to be a 2-base error. And just like that, the Braves have given them 2 runs here and got runners on second and third. and still nobody out. They go out and talk to Tony. Of course, that last one wasn't his fault, but he had walked the bases loaded there. So now you got nobody out. Santo down at third, Taylor down at second, Morehart's up. Mo in limited play. He's got 7 at bats. He's 4 for 7 and 2 RBIs, is hitting .571. So like I say, the infield's in here, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Here's the pitch to Mo, and that's going to be a fly ball in the left field, and Santo's going to hold up there. That's a first out of the inning. That brings up Jack Curtis. Can he help his own cause? And Jack's batting .094 in the year. He does have a homer and 3 RBIs, so you can't groove one here if you're Tony, or he'll take you deep. Here's the pitch to Curtis, and that's going to be a base on balls. So Curtis trots on down to first. That does set up the double play. Here's Danny Murphy up now. He struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch to Murphy, and that's going to be a base hit in the left field, and that's going to score Santo. Taylor's going to stop at third, and this ball game's tied up, folks. 3 apiece, just like that, and still only 1 out. And that brings up Zimmer, who grounded out the short his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So that's 2 outs, 2 strikeouts. Can he strike the side out in between the 3 runs here? Here's Mr. Cubby. Ernie Banks grounded out the second. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Aaron and right. But the Cubbies come back and answer. Lucky it wasn't worse than that. They leave the bases loaded, but score 3. It's now tied up 3 apiece. Looks like this is going to be a slugfest. We got the bottom part of the order due up here. Torrey, McMillan, and Cloninger. Let's see what Joe can do here. Batting .241 on the year, 8 home runs, 41 RBIs. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. And Zimmer calls for it and makes the catch for out number 1. That brings up McMillan now. See if Mac can get aboard here. Only batting .212 with 9 home runs and 54 RBIs. And that's going to be a ball hit down to Mr. Ernie Banks, and that's going to be an E6. Ernie doesn't do what Mac does. He holds on to the ball and doesn't airmail it. Mac will be on, though, at first with 1 out. Tony's only batting .067. See if he can lay down a bunt and get that go-ahead run in scoring position here. And that's going to be a that is going to be a ball bunted right in front of home plate. And he fires down the second. Banks fires over to Zimmer covering first, and that's a double play. So that doesn't work. We go to the top of the bottom of the third. It's still tied up at 3 apiece. We got Altman, Williams, and Santo due up here. And George, he singled and came around the score in the second. Here's the pitch to George. And that's going to be another base hit in the left field. Altman's aboard again. And that'll bring up Billy Williams. And Billy, he singled and came around the score. Here's the pitch to Williams. And that's going to be popped up behind home plate. Joe Torrey throws the mask off, makes the catch for out number 1. That brings up Ron Santo. He walked and came around the score in the second. And that's just what the doctor ordered. That's a ground ball down the MAC. Over to Bolin, over to Adcock, 6-4-3, inning double play. And the Braves get out of that. We go to the top of the fourth. We got Spangler, Bolin, and Matthews due up. Al walked and came around to score his last time up and stole the base. Here's the pitch to Al. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Spangler trots on down the first. That'll bring up Frank Bolin. And again, I think they're going to do a little hit and run here. Again, trying to stay out of that double play. And here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. I believe. Let's check here. Yep, that's going to be a base hit in the left field. And with Spangler running, he's going to make it on down the third. So nice piece of hitting and running there by the Braves. So now we got first and third. Nobody out for Milwaukee. And up comes Eddie Matthews. Matthews struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch to Eddie. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. Strike three. Curtis has gotten Matthews' number today. Here comes Mr. Aaron. Hank singled and drove in a run his last time. Can he do it again? You got Spangler down at third, Bolin down at first. And they don't want no parts of him, I don't think. That's going to be a fly ball out to center field. That will score Spangler, though. So the Braves take a 4-3 lead here. Now there's 2 outs with Frank Bolin down at first. Joe Adcock, he homered his last time up. Two-run homer. Can he do it again with Frank Bolin down at first? Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's not a home run, but that's going to be a single. Nice piece of hitting by Joe. So now we got first and second and still 2 outs. See if Frank Thomas can deliver here. And Frank, he flew out the left his last time up. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a base hit. And that's going to fill the bases. So all this coming with 2 outs here. Frank Thomas is on first. Joe Adcock at second. Bolin at third for Joe Torre's bases juice. Nowhere to put him. Can Joe deliver a key 2-out base hit? Hey, Steve. Here's the pitch to Joe. And yes, he can. That ball is hit in the left field. And that'll score 1. Billy Williams gets the ball in quickly. Joe Adcock will stop at third. And that's now 5-3. Here comes Mac up now. He reached on an error his first time up. Here's the pitch to Roy. And that's going to be that's a line drive down the short. Ernie Banks makes a nice catch, robs Mac of a base hit, folks. The Braves lead the bases loaded, but they do score 2. Take a 5-3 lead in this ball game as we go to the bottom of the fourth. We got Taylor, Morehart, and Curtis due up here. Sammy reached on an error his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Taylor's out of there. That's Tony's 3rd strikeout of the game. That brings up Morehart. And Mo flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Morehart's aboard here with a 1-out single. And that brings up Jack Curtis. And the way this game's going, we're letting Curtis swing away. He walked his first time up. And that's going to be a Swing and a miss, I believe. Yep, strike 3. He strikes out this time. Now there's 2 outs for Danny Murphy now. And Murphy singled his last time up, drove in a run, struck out his other time. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Murphy trots down to first. Morehart's down at second for Don Zimmer. Like I say, it doesn't look like these teams are going to be able to stop each other. Here's the pitch to Zimmer, who's 0 for 2. He struck out his last time up. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Spangler. Can of corn. He makes the catch. And that ends the threat. We go to the top of the 5th. It's 5-3 Milwaukee. Bottom of the 4th, rather. It's not the top of the 5th. We got Cloninger, Spangler, and Bolin due up. Tony popped up trying to bunt into a double play his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Santo. That'll be easy play for out number 1. Back to the top of the order we go. And Al Spangler. Al's walked both times. Came around to score both times. Here's the pitch to Al. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Spangler, perfect today. 1 for 1 and 2 walks. And that'll bring up Frank Bolin. And Frank has singled his last time up, came around the score. Here's the pitch to Frank. And he gets a hold of this, drives that into right field. And with Spangler's speed, he's going to make it down to third. So first and third for Eddie Matthews, who isn't having a good game. He struck out twice, trying to avoid the hat trick here. With the runners, I didn't want him to score. Supposed to be runners on first and third, not scored. Redo that. There we go. First and third for Matthews. See what he can do here. Hopefully he can at least make contact. Cubbies are going to play back for the double play. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And that's going to score the runner. Banks only plays going to be down the second. It's not a hit hard enough for a double play. So now the Braves are up 6-3 with a runner down at first and Matthews for Mr. Henry Hank Aaron. With 2 outs. Hank is 1 for 1 today with that 2 RBIs. He's got a sacrifice fly. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Curtis has got it. He fires over the first. And they strand 1, but the Braves score another one to make it 6-3. So we go to the top of the 5th. You got Banks, Altman, and Williams due up here. And Ernie is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be another fly ball. This one out the left field. Thomas has got it for out number 1. And that brings up George Altman. And George is having a great game. He's got 2 base hits, came around the score on one of them. And they finally get him out. That's a fly ball out the right. Aaron near the line makes the catch for out number 2. That brings up Billy Williams. Can Tony get his first 1, 2, 3 inning here? I probably just jinxed him. Billy's 1 for 2, singled and popped up. And I jinxed him. That's a base hit in the center field. Shouldn't have said nothing. Should have kept my mouth shut. So Billy's down at first with 2 outs. Ron Santos at the plate. And Ron's 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded into a double play. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Frank Thomas. That'll end the inning. Cubbies leave 1 on. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We got Adcock, Thomas, and Torrey due up here against Curtis. And Joe's a perfect 2 for 2 with a 2-run homer and a single. Hey, Dave. Nice to see you. Check out Dave Little's channel. He'll probably be doing some wrestling today, I would imagine, right, Dave? And here's the pitch to Joe Adcock. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Ernie Banks. He fires over to first. And that'll be out number 1. That brings up Frank Thomas. Frank's 1 for 2, singled his last time up. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Frank Thomas gets aboard here with 1 out. And it brings up Joe Torre now. See if Joe can get something going here. He's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Here's the pitch. Hey, 007 to Joe. And that is going to be a base hit in the right field. Frank's going to stop at second. Not much speed. We got first and second now with 1 out for Mac. See what Roy can do. He's 0 for 2. He hit into some bad luck because last time hit a line drive right down the short. Ernie grabbed it and robbed him of a hit. And that's going to be a see what this is, an 18. Yeah, an 18. That's going to be a single through short in the left field. And again, Frank's going to stop at third. That's going to load the bases up here for Tony. See if Tony can help his own cause here. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up on a bunt attempt into a double play, and he is grounded out to third. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, 007. He said, oh, you've been working, darn. Cool. Yeah, check out 007. He's been doing inside pitch 2008 season. Here's the pitch to Tony. Can he come through here and give himself a little more padding? And that's going to be a no. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. Can they turn two? Banks up with it, fires over to Zimmerman. He fires over to Moorhead. Tony does beat it out, so he'll get an RBI. Make this a 7-3 ball game. We got runners on first and third with 2 outs for Al Spangler. Spangler's having a great game. He's 1 for 1, 2 walks, scored all 3 times, and has a stolen base. All learning how to play replay baseball. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. And that'll score 1. And Tony will end up down at third. Braves pounding on now. So we still got first and third for Frank Bolin. Curtis is due up third. See if he can get this last batter here. And Frank Bolin, no pitch hit for him in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch to Bolin. And that is going to be a fly ball out the left field. Billy's got it for out number 3. But the Braves score 2 and lead this game 8-3. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Ain't nothing wrong with playing more games, that's for sure. So we got Taylor, Morehart, and we'll have a pitch hitter for Curtis here in the 6th. And Sammy's 0 for 2, reached on an error and struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Bolin for out number 1. And that'll bring up Mo Mohart. And Mo is 1 for 2, singled his last time up, flew out to Frank his other time. And that's going to be a base on balls. So now you got a runner down at first with 1 out and a pitch hitter coming up here. See who's going to come off the bench and hit. They got a stacked bench with these call-ups. If MV was in here, I'd bring up his boy Ken Hubs. Let's see here. I think old Butch Wheel is going to come out here and pitch it. Where's old Bob at? Bob Wheel. So here comes Butch out of the dugout. And he's hitting 277 on the year, no home runs and 5 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Will. And he delivers with an infield hit. That's going to make it first and second. And still only one hit. Nice job by Bob. Getting aboard here. And we're back to the top of the order and Danny Murphy. And now you got runners at first and second. Murphy's 1 for 2, a walk and an RBI. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. That's going to score. No, Moorhead's going to stop at third. And all of a sudden now the Cubbies have got the bases loaded. And that's going to get some bullpen action up for the Braves. They go out and talk to Tony. He got some righties coming up and then 2 lefties. So he's at least going to pitch to Zimmerman. Maybe Banks. So we'll get a lefty up. Let's see here. We got Moorhead, Johnny Antonelli, and McKenzie. McKenzie's going to get up here, the lefty. So base is juice for Don Zimmer. He's 0 for 3, grounded out, struck out, and flown out. And that's going to be a pass ball, a wild pitch rather. Not what you want here with a 5-run lead. Now it's only a 4-run lead. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves will bring the infield in. Looks like a wild game. Here's the pitch to Zimmer, the 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. And that's going to score Will from third. And all of a sudden now it's a 3-run game. And you got Murphy. Well, let's see here. Sorry, the runner holds. I messed up and looked at the wrong thing. Looked at it if it was hit in the right field. Sorry about that. Hit in the left field. He was supposed to hold. So fly ball out the left field and he holds. I thought it was strange that he scored. So that brings up Mr. Cubby with 2 in scoring position here. He's 0 for 3, grounded out, flown out to each corner, right and left. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Bolin. And the Braves get out of this with limited damage. Cubbies score 1, make it 8-4. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, we got Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock due up here. See who the Cubbies are going to bring in here to pitch. You got Matthews and then a bunch of righties. Cubbies don't got much of a bullpen. Let's see here. Looks like they're going to bring in Don Elston. Don's going to come in here and pitch. Like I say, he'll base the 1 lefty, and then there's a bunch of righties due up after that. Elston's 35th game. He's got a 4.28 ERA. He's 3-4 with 5 saves. He'll be facing the big boys, Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock. Eddie's 0 for 3. He does have an RBI his last time up. Struck out his other 2 times up. And that's going to be driven into right field. Off the wall. Just missed a homer. Matthews standing down at second with a leadoff double. As soon as I said he ain't having much of the game, old Matthews makes me out to be a liar. Here comes Hank, who's having a good game. He's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and came around to score once. Here's the pitch to Hank. And that's going to be a ground ball down a pop-up down the short. Banks has got it for out number 1. Here comes Joe Adcock. He's homered in this game. Can he drive in Matthews from second? He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and came around to score once. And that's going to be a base on ball as Joe trots on down to first and second now for Frank Thomas. See if Frank can do something here with 1 out. He's having a good game. 2 for 3, 2 singles, came around to score. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball hits off the wall, takes a crazy bounce. And Frank Thomas, with his speeds around and second, headed for third. Here comes the throw, and he's going to make it in there with a base clearing triple, folks. Frank Thomas. Surprised he got a triple out of that. Put on the Jets, he did. Maybe put on the freaking propellers. Maybe they ain't Jets. But he gets a triple out of it. Here comes Joe Torre, 2 for 3 today with an RBI and came around to score. Cubbies got to bring the infield in. It's 10-4. Good buddy. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So now there's 2 outs for McMillan now. And Max 1 for 3. Reached on an error, hit a line drive right to Ernie Banks. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. That'll score Frank, and now it's 11-4. And that'll get at the very worst Tony out of the way here. And let's see if Tony can keep this inning going. He's 0 for 3. He does have an RBI his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. He'll fire over to the first to get Tony. And that'll end the inning. The Braves score 3 more. We go to the top of the 7th. It's 11-4. You got Altman, Williams, and Santo due up here. And George is 2 for 3. Came around to score in the second inning. Here's the pitch to George. And that's going to be popped up mile high. That wouldn't be a home run in a phone booth. Joe Torre makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Mr. Billy Williams. And Billy's having a fine game, 2 for 3 today. And that's going to be a base on balls. Billy trots on down the first. Not what you want to do with a 7-run lead. Walking people, make them earn it. Here comes Ron Santo. He's 0 for 2. He did walk and came around to score. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's Tony's 5th strikeout of the game. That brings up Sammy Taylor now. He's 0 for 3. Reached on an error his first time up there. And he gets a hold of this one out for Tony. And he drives that ball into right field. Billy will easily get down the third. We got first and third now with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Moorhart. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Came around the score. Can Mo deliver here with 2 outs? And no. That is going to be well, they're not going to be stealing. So we're going to call that 1 strike on Mel. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Aaron in right field for out number 3. And the Cubbies leave 2 on. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Elston's due to lead off the top of the eighth. They'd like to see him get through this 7th inning. You got Spangler, Bolin, and Matthews due up. Al's a perfect 2 for 2 today. 2 walks, an RBI, scored 3 times, and a stolen base. Nice game for Al. And that's going to be another base on balls. So Al's a perfect day today. 3 walks and 2 singles. That brings up Frank Bolin, who's having a fine game. He's 2 for 4. Came around the score back in the 3rd. And that's going to be popped up in the foul territory. Taylor makes the play near the dugout for out number 1. And here comes Mr. Matthews now. And Eddie's 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down the 2nd. He throws that one away. And that's going to get the runner down the 3rd. Matthews will hold it 1st. And now we got 1st and 3rd, and their defense is letting them down here. Elston trying to get through this inning. You got speed on the bases. Aaron up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Hank. And that is going to be a base hit in the right field. That'll score Spangler. Matthews will get down the 3rd. Still 1st and 3rd and only 1 out. Here comes Joe Adcock. Cubbies now down by 8 are just looking for outs. They're going to play back. Joe Adcock 2 for 3 with a homer. And that's not going to get the job done because that's going to be another base hit. Another run will score. And this sounds like deja vu all over again. Aaron makes it down the 3rd. And that's going to be it for Elston. See if they can do a double switch here. They are. Moorhead's going to come out of the game. Elston's coming out of the game. See who's going to come in and play first. Mel Roach is going to come off the bench, batting the 9 spot and play first. See who the Cubbies are going to bring in here to pitch. And batting the 8 hole. And they're going to bring in Mel Wright's going to come in, try to stop the bleeding. Like I say, he'll bat in the 8th spot. And Roach will come in, batting the 9th spot to lead off the inning. All right, where's Roach at? There's Mel. Like I say, he'll bat in the 9 spot and play first. With the double switch. 1st and 3rd, and still only 1 out for Frank Thomas. This is Mel Wright's 11th appearance. He's got a 9.45 ERA. He's 1-0. Can he get the ground ball? Not much speed on first or at the plate. But Frank somehow got a triple his last time up and drove in too. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a balk. And that's going to drive in a run. He balks in a run. Adcock will go down the 2nd. That's not it. It might just be BK for balk. Let's try BK. Yep. So he balks in a run, takes away the double play chance. And now there's 1 ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Frank. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a runner ain't going to try to steal 3rd. Joe Adcock. So that's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike on Frank. And that's going to be a ground ball down the 3rd. He'll look the runner back. Fire over to first for out number 2. So now there's 2 outs. Hey, Phillip. And Joe Torre at the plate. And Joe 2 for 4 with an RBI. Can he go 3 for 5 here and pick up another RBI? And yes, he can. He squares this one up, folks. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is going in the deep center field. Altman looks at that one into the trees out there. Home run number 9 for Joe Torre. It's nice to see him starting to hit. And it is 16-4. 5 runs in this inning. Cubbies can't find an answer. And we've got Roy McMillan up. He's 2 for 4 today. And that ball is well hit. Right is getting pounded. That ball's driven into the gap. An easy double for Mac. He's standing down at second now with 2 outs. And Mr. Cloninger's up now. And he's 0 for 4, but he does have an RBI today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that'll finally end this inning. The Braves score 5, take a 16-4 lead. We go to the 8th inning. Mel Roach will be leading off after the double switch. Then Murphy and Zimmer. Mel is batting 156 on the year, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Matthews. Over to Adcock for out number 1. Back to the top of the order in Murphy. And he's 2 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. And that's going to be another base hit. Danny Murphy's having a hell of a game here for the Cubbies. That brings up Don Zimmer now with a runner down at first and 1 out. Zimmer isn't having a good game. He's 0 for 4. He's grounded out, struck out, and flown out to center and to left. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Can the Braves turn 2? Frank's up with it. Fires over to Roy, who fires over to first, but Zimmer beats the throw. There's 2 outs now for Mr. Banks. And Ernie's not having a good game either. He's 0 for 4. He's flown out to the corners, right and left, and grounded out the second his other 2 times up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Mac will go the short way over to second to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We got the top of the order due up here. Spangler, Bolin, and Matthews. Al's a perfect 2 for 2 with 3 walks. Has come around to score 4 times. Here's the pitch to Al. And they finally get him out. That's going to be a ground ball down the third. Santo up with it, fires across the diamond, and Al's out. That'll bring up Frank Bolin now. And Frank's 2 for 5. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field for Frank. So he's aboard now for the big boys. Here comes Matthews up now with 1 out and a runner on. He's 1 for 5 with an RBI double. Well, no, it wasn't an RBI double. That was a sacrifice fly that he had. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Billy Williams for out number 2. So it's up to Henry Aaron. Keep this 8th inning going. And Hank is 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. He'll fire across the diamond to first to get Hank, and out will end the inning. The Braves lead 1. We go to the top of the 9th. Cubbies needing a miracle here. We're going to send Altman, Williams, and Santo up. Tony trying to go the distance here. Here's the pitch to George. He's having a fine game, 2 for 4. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Hank for out number 1. Here comes Billy Williams. He's having a good game, too. Oh, Billy's 2 for 3 with a walk and came around to score. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Can Tony go out like a champ and strike out Santo, making him 7 strikeouts for the game? Ron has struck out his last time up. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Tony ends this game in style. And that's your ball game, folks. The Braves blow out the Cubbies. Take a look at this box score. It's probably a 20 hits. Yeah, the Braves had 20 hits is what the star's for. Oh, you're welcome, Dave. Are you doing some wrestling later on today? If you are, put it in the chat there so we know what time you're going to be doing it. And the Cubbies, 4 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. The Braves, 16 runs on 20 hits and an error. Danny Murphy, a nice game, 3 for 4. Then Altman and Williams, 2 for 5 and 2 for 4. The Cubbies just couldn't get the job done with runners in scoring position. 3 for 10, left 11 men on base. Look at that top of the order. Spangler, 2 for 3 with 3 walks. Frank Boland, 3 for 6. And then you had Hank Aaron, Joe Adcock. Look at the bottom of that order. All of them with 3 hits. Adcock, Thomas, Torrey, and McMillan. You had Adcock and Aaron and Torrey with 3 RBIs. The Braves 10 for 20 with runners in scoring position. Only left 9 men on base. Jack Curtis' record is now even at 14 and 14. Goes 5 innings, 12 hits, 8 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. Elston comes in and does a terrible job. Gives up 5 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned. Walked 2, struck out 1. And Wright comes in, pitches an inning and 2/3, gives up 3 hits. Oh, enjoy, Dave. Yeah, enjoy. Oh, Dave says no wrestling today. Birthday dinner, and he's going to do what he calls the Buckeye Bowl on Monday, like a Royal Rumble. Sounds good. And like I say, Wright gives up 3 hits, 1 unearned run, struck out 1, and gives up the homer. Tony goes the distance and gets his record to 5 and 1. Gives up 10 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them earned. Walked 5 and struck out 7. Let's finish this September 23rd up. We got the Giants taking on the Reds. Reds trying to fight back and get second place here in the National League. And the Reds win. Giants 3 runs on 7 hits and an error. The Reds 5 runs on 10 hits and no errors. And we got the Battle of Pennsylvania. Pirates taking on the Phillies. Let's see if Ken Castro's Phillies can avoid losing 100 games this season, folks. They got 98 losses. And the Pirates shut them out, Ken. 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. The Phillies no runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. And the last game here on the 23rd is the Dodgers at the Cardinals. See what happens here in St. Louis. And the Cardinals win a close one. The Dodgers 5 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Cardinals 7 runs on 10 hits and an error. Take a look here at the standings after September 23rd. The Giants are starting to fall apart. They're only 4 and 6 in their last 10 games. 10 games back, already been eliminated. The Reds are trying to make a run, but it's too little too late. 12 and a half games back. The Cardinals 18 and a half games back. Dodgers at 20.5. The Cubbies now 21.5. Pirates 25.5. And the Phillies are 43.5 games back. Clemente's leading the National League and Major Leagues with a .364 batting average. Cepeda and Mays are now tied with 37 home runs. Joe Adcock and Matthews are right behind them. Cepeda now with 125 RBIs. Matthews is trying to chase him down along with Aaron and Joe Adcock, 118, 116, and 114 respectively. And Warren Spahn's still leading the National League with that 2.3 ERA. He's got 19 wins. And Don's leading the National League with 37 saves. Cepeda's still holding a slight edge in the MVP voting, Eddie Matthews. And Spahn's now ahead of Lou Burdett in the Cy Young voting. I want to thank Dave Little for stopping by. Like I say, check out his channel. He says he's doing a wrestling match on Monday. Check out Philip Reynolds' channel. He's doing some History Maker baseball. 007. Like I say, he's doing inside pitch. My friend Ken Castro, I want to thank him for stopping by. Doug Hunt. Steve Tate. Check out his channel. He's starting to get back into it. He just got done doing best in the states for Curtis. So check out that. And I believe that was everybody. I'm going to get off of here. Probably get myself something to eat for lunch and be back on. And I think it's going to be the last game of a 2-game series against Boston. I think that's what's up next. The Yankees and the Red Sox from Boston. I think it's only a 2-game series. I think this is the last game. Let's see here, September 25th. Yeah, that's the last game. It's just a 2-game series. Then the Yankees go home after that. So the next game will be Boston. Yankees at Boston. Then the Braves have got a doubleheader against these Cubbies in Milwaukee. So until next time, you all have a great day. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for reminders, and on your way out of Milwaukee County Stadium, hit that like button and leave a comment. Until then, take care.